My name is Jeff Abraham, and I was an interviewer for the Academy. I am so glad that the Academy came up with this idea to capture these voices, because so many of them left us shortly after we did them, and they're now so accessible online, and they're so great for research. It's such a great gift. The first interview I did was Alan Young, who we all know is Wilbur from Mr. Ed. And the interesting thing is, he didn't do the pilot. He was recast, and George Burns said, and I got to ask Alan this, he said, is it true George Burns said to you, you look like the kind of guy a horse would talk to? And that was a great moment. You know, and I interviewed director Marty Pacetta from, so many great specials. But he did a special, I don't remember the special, where a guy wound up playing the guitar with his feet because he had no arms. And it was just an emotional moment. And I did Vince Calandra, who was the talent coordinator on The Sullivan Show, and he actually filled in for George Harrison when George was out with tonsillitis. So there's a famous shot of John, Paul, and Ringo, and there's a guy go, who's that? And that's Vince Calandra. So it's just so many great moments. I also interviewed both Bill Dana and Jonathan Harris, who worked on the Bill Dana show, so to hear both their impact, and their thoughts on that show. It was just so amazing. I grew up in Long Island about 60 years ago, and I remember watching Chuck McCann, and he used to host kid shows and Laurel and Hardy. And when I came out to LA, when I was about 16 years old, and I met Chuck McCann, it was like meeting Cary Grant, and then to call him a friend. So the shows I grew up with were the local shows, Officer Joe Bolton, and every city had those. But no, then as a latchkey kid, it was Gilligan and F Troop and Get Smart, you name it. I think I got my sense of humor. I kind of realized what was funny. Whether it be watching a sitcom or a stand-up on The Tonight Show, I go, oh, that's how you get a laugh. I'll give you an example. I just watched a rerun of The Tonight Show when Alan King was on, and he just hammered it. And Johnny was on the floor, and he goes, that's how you make people laugh. That's what you do. So yeah, by just watching all these great names and faces, you learn by osmosis.